Welcome, friends. We are live on Latinos for Trump with some friends today from Lexit. You will be hearing from us conservative women having some real talk today about some real issues. I'm Bianca Gracia, your host and president of Latinos.
In South Texas, regional director with Latinos for Trump.
Awesome.
Thanks, Myra.
Hey, everybody. I'm
Patty.
Patty. Oh, sorry. Hey, everybody. I'm Patty Flores. I am from the Real Lexit Group. Whoop, whoop. I'm in Southern California. I'm in Orange County. I am the director of operations and the director of operations and engagement for Lexit Movement. So enjoy the show, and I'll pass it on to Natalia.
Hey everybody, my name is Natalia Godoy. I am the executive vice president of the Real Lexit. I'm also known by the Red Pill Latina in social medias. I'm very happy to be here today.
Awesome. Well, welcome to Latinos for Trump, and thanks for joining us today to just have a Friday chit chat.
Yeah,
so,
Friday happy hour. Whoop, whoop.
Friday happy hour. It's 5:00 somewhere, right?
Right. It's
So-
5. Yeah, exactly. It's 5:02 on the West Coast. Yeah.
It's 7:00 here, so I'm a little jealous that you're 2 hours behind. So yeah, anyway, ladies, I'm glad that we could come together and just talk about what it's like to be a conservative Latina in this time of day. And really just talk a little bit about our organization and how we got started, and just talk about how you guys got started. And I'll start first, and I'll pass it over to Myra, and then we'll pass it over to you, ladies. So as I said earlier, I am president of Latinos for Trump. We started as a movement on a Facebook page back in 2018. We filed through the Secretary of State here in Texas to become an official organization, so that we could exist on paper. And we took it to another level. And so we've been, continuing the fight that we've been doing. The reason why we were, I say we were birthed out of the Trump whole era. And obviously, we have just been supporting our conservative principles, speaking out for the Hispanic community, trying to tell the Hispanic community, why it's important to vote conservative, why we are conservatives, and just making sure that we take that message on. So Myra came on to us. Myra, tell us about your journey, because I know you have a really good testimony.
I started back in April of 2019, last year. So I turned a year this month. I think it was this month or the end of March. And I wanted to do something more for my country. I was a resident and I couldn't do much. So I was very limited. So I was looking for an organization where I could help out in spreading the conservative message to other people, to other Latinos, because Latinos are conservatives and we just need to teach them our values. So throughout the journey, we've been working with Border Patrol, we've been working with angel families, and I became a citizen throughout my organization with the help of my leaderships. So it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey with Latinos for Trump, and I'm very grateful to be here and be helping out.
Awesome. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your citizenship.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Patty, tell us about your movement and how you guys got started, and what it's all about, why you even do what you do.
Well, I joined the Lexit team last year. Again, I am the director of operations and engagement. Jesse Holguin is the creator, founder, and president of Lexit Movement. He started this in 2018. Lexit is the acronym for Latinos exiting from the Democrat Party. So he decided to go ahead and carry on the movement that was originally done by Lexit, and did this for the Latinos. He's been very successful. He's been to the White House several times. He's been acknowledged by just an enormous amount of people. We have an amazing group, an amazing team that is in California, Arizona, Florida, Texas, New Jersey, and we have an ambassador also in New Mexico. We are growing rapidly. We have quite a bit of social media influencers that are just taking up the Facebook Lives every week now that we've all had to switch to our um, Plan B
Mhm.
business plans with virtuals. So we've been doing that. So we're definitely going out there and making a wave and paving the way and continuing the path for the Latino conservative movement. So that's my part of it. Natalia is again the executive VP for Black. So there you go, for Lexit, and is also known as the Red Pill Latina. And I'll let her tell you a little bit about who she is and where she's from, because I can hear Natalia talk all day long. So go ahead, Natalia.
Thank you very much, Patty. I appreciate all that. Well, Latinos exiting the Democrat Party. I mean, there's a huge need in this area for the Latino community. We have been brainwashed for so long, and everywhere you look, everywhere you hear, turn on the TV in Spanish. All you're gonna hear is propaganda from the left. There's no alternative. There's no another point of view that the Latino community are presented. There are no choices for us. We have been so abundantly saturated with such propaganda that there is a need for this movement to happen, and a lot of people have seen this, and it has been in the heart of many of us. Just like Patty said, Jesse was the founder of the movement, and from there on a lot of people started joining the fight, and we have the same desires. It's just to see the Latino community be free from all these chains that because the Democrat Party tells us that you're nothing but a little helpless victim. You need mama government to take care of you. You're too poor, you're too stupid. You can't do it on your own. And that couldn't be farther from the truth, Latinos. Let me tell you something. First of all, the majority of Latinos are entrepreneurs. We are hardworking people. We don't need mama government to take care of us. But those are the lies that we are starting to believe. And in order for them to change the laws and create more socialistic ideas and socialistic policies that we don't need. We Latinos, we don't need that. So we're here and we're trying to be speaking boldly to this generation and to the country about these issues.
Thank you, Natalia. I can listen. I thought I was passionate. I think all Latinos are passionate.
Oh yeah,
like
we're just passionate by heritage.
We started getting like, So and just so that y'all know, listen, I think this is pretty funny. Patty and I don't know if y'all know, but Patty and I are kind of like cousins. We're related.
Yes.
We didn't really know we didn't really remember being related until we got to talking, and our families saw that she was doing something, and my family of course knows what I'm doing, so they were like, hey, did you know that your prima over there is doing the same? And I was like, wait, what? So anyway, when Patty and I started talking, we were like, holy crap, because our dads are cousins. So anyway, we have this is just crazy. It's crazy. So what a small world.
It's the shock heard around the world that Bianca Gracia and me are related. But I love you, prima. Thanks for all you do.
That's awesome. Viva la familia.
It's in the blood. It's in the blood. It's in the blood. What can we say? How would we have ever? We wouldn't have known if it wasn't for the activism. I would have, I lost touch with my relatives. I really don't I stay in my little circle. I don't go to the extended relatives. So,
but you have to thank Facebook. You have to thank Facebook for putting a lot of people together, and they put us together because we started having the same people and everything like that. And then that's when we came across and figured it out. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey, listen, don't do the ancestry. You might find some more relatives out there. You didn't realize you were related to.
I was like, but I have to put those people on the payroll, and I don't have a payroll right now. So
I know. Listen, what was it? My little niece, she had the little ancestry done, and she was like, hey, yeah, Bianca, guess what? We're this and we're that. And she's like, I found out my dad had another daughter, and I was like, what? So it's like, she had to connect with another sister. So
Oh,
You know,
wow.
I know. You know, us Latinos, man, we stay busy.
We're
So
busy. We're very
we
We
stay
friendly.
stay
busy.
busy.
We're very friendly people, very friendly. So anyway, what are some of your issues? I'm gonna turn it over to Myra. And Myra, just tell us what are some of your issues and why you kind of stand up for what you stand up for, and kind of tell everybody here that's watching what the initiatives you've been doing right now, currently.
I mean, the reason I got into what, this organization is I grew up a conservative. I've never been a Democrat or in the
Neither have
Democrat
I.
Party. I've always been a conservative by heart. Um, so my reason here in this area was to advocate for the Border Patrol, to bring awareness that our Border Patrol are family, friends, they're people following the law and enforcing the law. That was one of the things that I did, and getting to know the Angel families, I saw the importance of showing their stories, not only the stories of the illegal aliens, of poor people coming, but how it affects us as Americans or citizens of this country when illegal aliens come and take our family members. And right now, what I'm trying to focus, and I think everybody's trying to focus, is trying to get our country's economy back on track. We are going through a situation right now where our rights are being tested by a lot of, even in Texas, we have the governor who everybody, thinks he's a conservative, but he's a Republican by name. But there are things that are not going the way they should be. Our country needs to be open. Our businesses are losing money. Our family and friends are losing jobs. So that is right now what is important of the focus, and also the elections, because this is going on. We cannot forget that we have elections coming up, and how are we going to replace those local officials and state officials that are keeping our country closed? So we need to focus on elections and our opening our country's economy and get it going again. So that is what I'm trying, and I think us at Latinos for Trump are trying to focus on right now at this time.
Yes.
Right. I know. Listen, we've got a huge right now with the COVID crisis and everything that's been just, I mean, it's literally destroyed, like it's destroying our communities.
Yeah.
We're entrepreneurs, as y'all know. We Latinas find things to do. We are works by nature. And so it's really a big I think we've seen some of our communities suffering right now. And that's why it's going to be important for them to
Mhm.
come out in this election and vote. Second of all, I think that one of the biggest thing right now is they're pushing mail-in ballot. I mean, they're
Yes.
trying to stop the election, ladies. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I mean, Patty, you're in California.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about
L- LA County just switched to mail-in voting for the
Wow.
general. Is it for the general only, or for the primary as well? But they just switched to mail-in voting, and LA County, and being in California, there's a couple of things about that I kind of equate what's happening with Gavin Newsom being in the dictatorship that he's in right now. When the COVID virus first came out, he said that there was going to be 20 million cases of the coronavirus from the state of California. That's half of the population of California. So he went to FEMA, got and put into the FEMA disaster amount under the 20 million. So now, fast forward, we're not near that number. We're actually probably over the curve now. We've been, social distancing. We've been isolated for the last 45 days. San Diego has 5 million people, and in San Diego they have 120 deaths. That's not even 1%. And so if you base it upon all of that, that's why all of this, they just opened the beaches last week here in Orange County. They just closed them again. They
Mhm.
want to close this. He's saying that they might push this to June. All of this, all these closings and small businesses that are probably, some of them aren't going to come back. But it all boils down to the original numbers and the original amount that he requested for FEMA. And now you're having the mail-in ballots, because it's going to affect that too. They're trying everything they can to go ahead and keep this going. They don't want a cure. They don't want to get a cure fast. They don't want to try hydroxychloroquine. They don't want to try anything, because the longer that they prolong this, the more money they get, and the more that they'll kill the economy, the more control they'll have over the elections.
Yep.
And that's their entire plan. So how's it going in Arizona, Natalia? Are you guys opened up, or are you guys closed still?
Well, Arizona always has been
I know. I was like, I was just gonna say something. I know. I was just gonna say something. I was like, and Latinas know this stuff, Patty. We're not supposed to know anything. We're supposed to follow, like be little sheep. Go ahead, Natalia.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. We're not supposed to question the narrative. We're supposed to hear and obey. We're not supposed to, do our own research. So definitely, they are liars and cheaters. That's why they want to mail the vote, and that's why they're trying to prolong this closure of the country as long as they can, because they want the economy to collapse. They're cheering for China, and they're probably gonna block me again for saying this, because when I said it, they will block me. But the thing is, like, think about it. Remember when the investigations of Ukraine happened, and it came out that Joe Biden was paid by China more than $2 million. I mean, you think that is coincidence? The Democrat Party and the Chinese Communist Party are in bed together. And I'm sorry to say that, and I'm sorry, Facebook, but I'm not sorry. And that's why,
Never apologize.
The United States collapsed, because when the United States collapses, then they can have complete control. They can have complete power. And the Democrat Party, that's what they're after. Complete power. They're thirsty for power. They don't care about the people at all. So yeah, in Arizona, things never went really bad. I mean, there's still a lot of places closed, but there's still a lot of places open. And people refuse to be in their home. The other day I went to the lake, and there were like maybe 60 people at the lake. And, people really, they don't, here is more a conservative state than California. I used to live in Seattle, Washington, and it looks like LA, first of all. And it is like LA in the sense of policies. But then you see where the corona hits the most is usually the Democrat states. And where they are more regulated. And that is very interesting, huh? How come people get in democratic states? Think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
The travel hubs. Everybody traveling to China, to Europe, out of LA and New York, and all of those places. Those are the ones that got hit the worst.
Yep.
So
Exactly. Myra, what's your take?
On the whole, I mean, this virus, it is a virus. People are getting sick, but it's not what they're saying it is. It's become more of a political virus to bring down the country and the president.
That's a great quote.
And to bring down the country and the president that they don't like. Everything else has failed. They don't have a good candidate for presidency. I mean, they have Dementia Joe, which is, I mean, I call it elder abuse, what they're doing to him. But
Absolutely.
they have him running, and they have nobody that has what it takes to beat President Trump. Who are they going to put as a VP is who's going to be president, not Joe Biden, because they're going to bring him down.
Yep.
Right. No, absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Because
hey, speaking of Smelly Joe, listen, how about the narrative where the girl comes out and accuses him of sexual harassment, and all of a sudden all the Democrats are like, well, it's no big deal. Like, it doesn't exist. They're trying to push it, shove it under the rug. He finally came out today. Out today and made a statement, and he denied. What do Democrats do? Deny. And then they said something about, hey, he sent a team over because it's got to be an archive. And I'm like, oh, crap. That means that if they sent the team over, they're going to bleach the crap. So, we're never going to know the truth, because they're going to go and make sure that they dispose of, just like Hillary Clinton did with bleaching all her, her emails and trying to destroy her. Yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I'm like, trust you? It's like ridiculous. I'm like, and we're women. I mean, you know, I don't know. I think we're all beautiful women, and I'm sure that men hit on us all the time. I mean, I know when to draw the line. You know, it's like common sense. You know, it's like common sense. But at the end of the day, you know, one side can't say when the Judge Kavanaugh was trying to get confirmed, they went at him like viciously. But now Joe Biden, and the same thing doesn't affect. It's not they don't apply the same thing.
Yep.
Like,
Hypocrite.
like really, Patty.
Hey, me
what
too
I was gonna-
movement. How about believable women?
Yes.
Yeah,
And that's
Patty,
we're
what do you
not-
think?
Well,
Where's
I
the
was
What do you
gonna say
think, Patty?
exactly.
Where's
Well,
Hollywood?
Joe Biden can't remember what he did 29 seconds ago. Well, how's he going to remember what he did 29 years ago? That's the first thing. Let's be real, right? The second thing about it is the difference between Christine Blasey Ford is that was a dream that she had. That was a repressed memory that she had. That wasn't a fact. She didn't report it 35 years ago. This lady did. Tara Reid reported it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the difference in that is that this lady reported it. Her mother actually went on the Larry King show and said that her daughter had been sexually harassed.
That's exactly what I was going to say. There's a trail, unlike with Christine
There's
Ford.
a trail.
Everybody
There's
denied it. Everybody that she was doing it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And Christine Blasey Ford, nobody backed her story up. Her best friend, who she said was there, didn't back her up. So there's a difference. Stacey Abrams went on I forgot if it was CNN, and started reading a script, literally a script of why she's behind Biden and all this other stuff. And she quoted the New York Post, and the New York Post came out and said, "We never said that." So it's a total you know, double standard, which we all know what happens in the conservatives against the left. But if you're going to believe all women, believe her. But they only believe women on the left, not women on the right, because we deserve it. We deserve it. We deserve it. We put ourselves out there. We deserve it.
Natalia, what do you think?
Well, I think they're freaking hypocrites. That's what I think. Because where's the Me Too movement right now? Where's Hollywood right now? With Kavanaugh,
Right.
CNN did more than 700 stories. They covered for something that it wasn't even proven. She couldn't even remember right. She changed the stories so many times. Nobody was, could confirm what she said. But this lady, like, Myra said, and Patty, there's a trail, there's a history, there's proof, there's evidence. And where's the mainstream media? Where is everybody right now? Even Times did a story, and with the coverage, of Kavanaugh's story. And where's Times right now? Everybody's ignoring this. This hypocrites. And I can't believe people still follow them. That's my
endorsing them.
Endorsing, yeah, exactly, Patty. We see them endorsing Nancy Pelosi. I couldn't be more proud to endorse Joe Biden. Alyssa Milano, the big hashtag Me Too. Exactly. They are a bunch of hypocrites. They don't care about anybody but themselves, their agenda. Right. They say that the Republican Party is the party of the rich people. I'm like, I don't see that. I ain't rich. I know. I mean, come on now. I mean, really? It's like I see all the Democrats are the ones that are rich. Did y'all see Nancy Pelosi? She was showing during the crisis the flavors of ice cream. Yeah. Like, who does that? Like, seriously.
Well, people are suffering. Well, they have to do big lines to get some toilet paper. She's showing her ice cream, gourmet ice cream, and her house.
Her 2 refrigerators, her 2 Viking refrigerators in her kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
They're probably $20,000 each. It's insane.
I know. I know. So I know that, like, my city is not. They're trying to take over my city because my city is still red. The city of Houston, though, is very blue. I mean, very blue. Myra lives in a very blue area. Patty, are you in a very blue area?
I am in a new blue area because I am in Orange County, which was red before and is now definitely leans blue the last few elections.
Wow.
But I'm originally from San Diego County, which is still a red county. but is getting more blue because of the city of San Diego, which is complete blue, tree huggers, you name it, they're all there. But Orange County used to be more lean red. But what was interesting is there was a protest today in Huntington Beach, which is probably about 10 minutes from here, from where I'm at right now, and it was packed. I mean, packed. And I posted a comment on someone's Facebook because they said, "Oh, look at all those crazy Republicans, and they're going to get sick and this and that." And I just responded this way, and I said, first of all, I don't think everybody there is a Republican, because this isn't a Republican or a Democrat issue. This is an issue that we need to get back to work as Americans. This is not a left or a right issue. This is a personal issue that we need to get back to work. So I don't think all of those, 20,000 people that were there are all Republicans. No, those are people who want to get back to work and feed their families and pay their mortgages and pay their rent. You know, we want to get back to getting our nails done. We want to get back to our daily lives. I was at the beach 3 times last week, and it's amazing to me that in Gavin Newsom's order, he said, that we needed to heed to his order. Heed means be cautious, suggestion. It doesn't say you have to do it. So unfortunately, that they're very good at words. They're twisting it, and I personally just think that Americans are sick of it. It doesn't matter what party you belong to, you're affiliated with. I think people are just generally sick of this.
That's right. Myra's in a very blue area. Myra, are they already trying to push the mail-in ballots for you too? And
I think like right now it's kind of remains the same. They haven't said anything on the mail-in ballots from what I understand. My area where I'm at in McAllen, today I went to PetSmart and I went to the tortilleria because that's where I buy my avocados. And I walked in without a mask and nobody said anything. People looked at me, but they couldn't say anything anymore. But I'm going to the beach tomorrow, and I'm being told that I have to wear a mask in Cameron County because Cameron County is worse than Hidalgo County now. The judge over there, Judge Trevino, is giving out tickets and basically, not letting people out without a mask. It's a tyranny. It's horrible because
it is tyranny. It is tyranny.
Yeah,
San Diego County today went. You have to wear a mask to go outside. They opened up the beaches today, and you have to wear a mask to be on the beach and on the boardwalk. The virus disintegrates in heat. Why are we wearing a mask outside?
Yeah, it's 100 degrees over here. And one of the things that I was asking was, didn't a general, General Barr, didn't he send out a statement saying that it's unconstitutional to be giving out tickets or to be doing this to the citizens? So what's going to happen when all those cases go to court? How is that going to be handled? Are we going to be able to sue because of them taking our constitutional rights? How is it going to be? What's going to happen?
Yeah, exactly. And Myra, one of the things that I know that I think is very optimistic in your area is that you during this crisis been doing the flag wave. They go and drop the flag. They do the flag and the Donald Trump flag. And Myra, talk a little bit about the response that you're getting in a blue area. Listen to this.
It's a very blue area. We walk 3 miles. We go over an overpass and we stand there with our American flag, the Trump flag, my "Don't Tread on Me" flag in the back, and we stand. That's a noise ordinance. We can't do that. So we stand there in the overpass and everybody's passing by. Yeah, it's a noise ordinance. You see the truckers coming under the overpass and people over the overpass and giving us a positive, feedback like honking, yes, Trump. And we're near a hospital, so there's a lot of EMS support President Trump. We do get some negative, but out of 20, maybe 2 or 3 negative. It's more the positive response that we're getting over the negative, especially at a time like this. You can see that a lot of people are getting tired of what they're seeing with the Democrats. They're tired of seeing their family be unemployed. They're tired of seeing the wages go down, their businesses closed. So this is going to backfire again to the Democrats, like the impeachment did, like everything else has, because it's obvious that they're the ones pushing this communist agenda, and that they're the ones holding the stimulus that's going out to the people. And adding all this pork to these bills. So everything is coming out. Though we are suffering, it's going to be something positive at the end of 2020.
Yep.
I hope so. I hope so. Just a real big shout out to Maria Luthiger. Ladies, that's our Corpus Christi chapter director, Latinos for Trump. Whoop, whoop. We got to say that too. So Natalia, tell us about your area. Is it blue? Is it red? What are you seeing there? I mean, what are you up against?
My area is still red. I live in Phoenix, Arizona, by the way. I'm taking.
Okay.
And my area is still red, but it's now starting to be considered purple. And the reason why is because a lot of people from California is moving to Arizona, and they're voting Democrats. And that is insane. I mean, we have to understand that in the first place, the reason why you move here is because you couldn't even Democratic socialistic policies, and you come here and vote for the same thing. So that is insanity. But yeah, actually, Arizona, I don't think it's a bad state at all. Overall, there's a lot of freedoms here still. There's a lot of much less regulations than in liberal states. I used to live in a very liberal state called Washington, D.C. I mean, not Washington, D.C., Washington State, Seattle. And it's night and day, the difference between living in there and living here. Taxes are much lower. The price of living, you can have a really nice quality of life here for a lot less. Everything is more affordable because of taxes. And like the regulations on your guns, you have open carry here. You can buy any gun, and forget it. In Seattle, you can't. And a lot of things that are so much better to live under a conservative state. Just the freedoms, the freedoms of where this country was founded on.
Exactly. I know me and Myra are very passionate because we see the deterioration of the conservative movement here in Texas. We have a governor right now that we really worked hard to elect, and he's been really acting more like a Democrat. And he's allowing the Democrat cities to really instill those tyrannic governmental agendas. And he hasn't stood up to them. It's like I'm very disappointed. I mean, there's a lot of people disappointed in the government right now.
It has to do with the donors. A lot of their policies take. I mean, if they accept money from liberal donors, the ones that support Hillary and Pelosi, they get owned by these liberal donors. So, I mean, there are politicians that don't take money from liberals because they don't want to sell themselves to the communist socialist politics. But he has.
Yeah. And Myra, I know that you and Jen did a lot of research and found, y'all really found the commonalities between the Democrat donors that were giving to Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton that were huge donors to Governor Abbott.
Yes.
So, that's why. And it's not like $1,000 or $5,000. They were giving him $100,000, $250,000. And once you start doing that, what does that tell you? What does that have to say? So we're very concerned for the state of Texas right now. I think people think that we're safe and we're not. I heard a Democrat today being interviewed, and she said that Texas was very much at play for them, and that right now the polling that NBC was doing is that Joe Biden is actually polling at 49% and Trump is polling at 44%.
Well, the whole
now, I don't believe. Yeah, go ahead.
The Francis O'Rourke, because I refuse to call him Beto. Francis O'Rourke and Ted Cruz election. How close was that, Bianca? Yeah. I mean, I remember sitting at the edge of my seat. I mean, biting my nose when I had already stopped biting my nose. It was very scary to see this guy that is such an open border. Is not about American first. It's about illegals first. Taking away your guns. We're going to take away your guns. We're going to gun for them. Beating Ted Cruz. I mean, this is Ted Cruz's state. I mean, he's big here, and for him to be trailing for such a long time in that election, that was very scary. And that is something that every Texan cannot take for granted. They need to remember
right.
that every day.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of it though for Texas though is that Apple and Google
Mhm.
both build headquarters in Dallas,
Mhm.
and I
Mhm.
truly believe they position themselves for the election. So, with that, you had people from California again. Here comes the Californians jacking everything up again. Going and going out there because
Hey,
You
that's
need to
what
keep
they
your
wanted.
people, Patty.
ano, dile a tu gente que se quede allá. Dile a tu gente que se
I
quede allá.
know. Hey, I want to go to Nevada, but I'm not. I'm going to go to Nevada and take my conservative values with me, not my. But dude, I'm like saying, dude. So it's crazy though because it's like they put it. Apple put in a headquarters there. Google put in a headquarters there. It's all strategic. It's all
Mhm.
strategic.
So
They did
strategic.
that to flip it. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That's right. I know. Go ahead, Natalia.
No, I was just, listening to you ladies and seeing everything that's going on in the country. This is an organized mafia, you could say. And it
Mm.
happens, if you see throughout history, happens over and over and over again.
Mhm.
Communists really disguise themselves as democratic socialists,
Mhm.
and they come together and they try to cover every, like for example, let's say Latin America, they come together into the forum of Sao Paulo and then try to spread communism throughout Latin America. And now we see this happening here. They come together and they're trying to spread the socialistic Marxist policies and ideas throughout the United States. And it's just at the end of the day, they're gonna try to destroy what the United States was meant to be, and they're gonna try to take every liberty, every freedom that you got as an individual, because they want to raise the individual and they want to replace it. They want to take replace God and the individual and replace it with government, and that's why they're pushing forward so many ideas and so many narratives and so many things that make you outraged, like for example white supremacists, and they create all these lies to cover up
Narratives.
their evils,
Mhm.
so you
Yeah.
don't realize what's going on and you give in your freedoms right away. Like for example, let's say hate crimes, right? There's no, right now, just because you say Chinese virus is a hate crime, just because you point out the statistics is a hate crime. So people that have been brainwashed, they truly believe
Mhm.
it's a hate crime, so they're gonna give out their right, their freedom of speech away, just so they can have a full sense of security, an illusion of safety when it's
Mhm.
not so. So this is what they're gonna do. That's why they want to take the legislative branch, the judicial
Mhm.
branch, and we've seen that
Mhm.
happening in the last decades, and that's why they didn't want Kavanaugh, because he's an honest man, because they want a judge that actually they can buy, so they can get away with stuff. So that's
Mhm.
what the whole fiasco was all about. Now we see like Beto O'Rourke and other people pushing out, taking away your guns. Why? Because that's part of the plan. So they can, you're not able to defend yourself with this whole thing comes down, all this
Mhm.
tyrannical government comes down. We see the censorship of uh, any independent thinker, conservative, anybody that goes against the narrative, they're gonna try to destroy every single voice. That's socialism. That's big government. We need to wake up to this reality. Later on, what they're gonna do, they're gonna end up doing is taking, creating a massive governmental jobs. That way, they create allies.
Mhm.
They don't want entrepreneurship. They don't want you to be independent in your economy. They want you to depend on the government, because that's how they
Mhm.
can control you. So
Mhm.
that's another thing that they plan to do. And expropriation of how do you say, what is the word? You know what Bernie was talking about? Oh, these people don't need that many stuff. That's because they want the government to take
Distribution of wealth.
this expropriation of wealth. Yeah,
Yeah.
so all this stuff is Marxist ideas. Go
is,
to
right.
the Communist Manifesto, please. Anybody that is watching right now, go buy or don't spend money, but look it up online, Communist Manifesto, and research what the ideals of the communists are, and it's very in line with the Democrat Party. Okay, everything
Very
that they say,
much.
everything that they do, every policy they want to give
Absolutely.
out, that is communism. So let's wake up to that reality. That's
Right,
my
right.
feeling.
So how do
Good
you,
job,
thank you
Natalia.
for that. I know, very good way to express that. How do you girls, ladies feel about the censorship that we get across the board on platforms? Anytime we start speaking, listen, I mean, who knows how long this live feed will last before they silence us and take it off, because Lord forbid Latinas are speaking out about, that we believe in God. We believe in family. We believe in hard work, good ethics, entrepreneurship, smaller government. We don't want government to take all our money. We work hard for it. So, I know that we have experienced a lot of censorship among Latinos for Trump, and we have for a very long time. So, how do you ladies feel about that? And I'll start with Myra, and then let Patty go from there.
Well, I mean, pretty much I've always said the censorship is very big. I didn't know before joining this organization. I would hear people getting into Facebook jail. Once I got in and started speaking more and being more outspoken, I would always tell Enrique and I would tell Jen, if whatever you want to post, let me know, because I'm pretty safe. I've never been on Facebook jail or anything. So when I got totally deplatformed from Facebook, not a response on why, simply for a post on the NRA, that was very, very upsetting. And to see people taking that for granted, I mean, yes, it's Facebook, but Facebook has become our platform. That's where a lot of people are. That's where we reach out. It is a big deal for us. It is a big deal during elections. It's not just Facebook, it's a platform. So, I mean, having to create a new name and having to do everything and losing all the friends, followers that you had and starting again, it's very upsetting seeing people like Dan being silenced from live streaming. I can't live stream right now. Enrique can't even, he's running for Congress and he can't even talk on his campaign. So it is very unfair towards conservatives. I don't think it's right for them to censor not either conservatives or liberals. Nobody should be censored from speaking what they want to speak, because there is no such thing as hate speech. Speech is free speech. So that's
right.
my take on it. It's very, very upsetting, I'm sorry, it's stupid. The censorship. Yeah. Like today I had this funny video. It got censored. Remember, Bianca, that one with Biden and doing this tongue thing?
The little thing with a tongue, the little meme,
yes,
they made a video and they censored it. They told us,
yeah, they say it's not a factual video. Of course it's not a factual video. I mean, does Facebook think we're this stupid? It's
I
very,
know.
very, very, I mean, the whole thing with Carp Donktum, his videos getting censored. They're memes, they're jokes. It's, it's stupid. That's all I got.
It is. Myra's been she's a victim of Facebook jail and Facebook censorship. And
Twitter.
She's lost her account on Twitter and barely got it back. You just barely got it back.
Yes.
She gained a lot of traction when she became a U.S. citizen, and she started speaking out, and she had so many new followers, and all of a sudden it's just like, oh, I can't even, and you didn't even, I think you just shared something. It wasn't even anything even said.
It was the week that my father became a citizen. So I was getting a lot of traction on his citizenship. And they started sharing my citizenship. So I started getting more followers. And then somebody shared something. It was when President Trump was closing the borders. I didn't even comment on it. I just retweeted. So next thing I know, I get my Twitter taken away. I don't know if it was because of my dad's, the attraction, or what, because the retweet was in the retweet. So it took them weeks to respond to me, till finally I said, you haven't responded to me. I am going to contact my senator, who happens to be Ted Cruz. because this is unfair of you censoring a conservative, woman. It's not right. So worded something like that. So next thing I know, within an hour or so, I get a response back saying, "We're sorry. It was just that you posted an unsolicited comment." An unsolicited comment. It's Twitter. All comments are unsolicited.
Oh, exactly.
So it doesn't make sense, the censorships. It's getting worse, and as closer we get to November, it's going to get worse, and the reasons for their censorship are just going to get dumber. It's just dumb. They don't know what to censor about anymore.
They
That's
call them
interesting.
fact checkers. I know. What about y'all? Are y'all experiencing that on your end, Patty?
I'll let Natalia talk really about what Lexit's gone through, but as far as the first about these our civil liberties, oh, I see that all the time, and what people post on the Kathy Griffiths of the world, the Bette Midlers,
Mhm.
the hate speech, and they're still on there, and it's just
Mhm.
trending. It's still going on. So I see that from a point where you're looking. Facebook themselves are going ahead, and their so-called fact checkers are looking at buzzwords that anything to do with Trump. They're looking at anything to do with, right wing, with the current cases. Like you said about your meme, it was a meme it wasn't true. Basically, of course, it's a meme. We know that. So I think the sensitivity levels are definitely politically inspired, of course, and I think
Mhm.
it's all politically inspired to where if you don't agree with what they're saying, you're this, you're that. If you're not continuing the narrative, then they'll start blocking you. Look at the doctors out of California who talked about the virus. They took them down
Mhm.
from YouTube. They took their videos down from Facebook because they were speaking the truth. And these are doctors. They're not. It's not Bill Gates giving his 2 cents worth on what he thinks the virus is and what's happening. These were actual medical professionals. So yeah, definitely there's a double standard. Definitely it goes to the point to where it has to do with politics. They're drawn on political lines, and if you're anything if you're a Trump supporter, if you're a conservative, if you're a Christian, if you're anything to do with those, then those are their targets, and those are their sensitive areas. And so I'll let Natalia speak to what Lexit's gone through with shadow banning and all of that stuff. Because I've never been in Facebook jail, so I'm still a newbie at that. But I'll let her talk about what we've gone through with shadow banning and what we're currently going through as well.
I live in Facebook jail. They keep sending me that. My last one was because now they're shadow banning my page because I dared to say, "Hey CNN, why are you not covering Joe Biden's accusation? You had over 700 stories on Kavanaugh, but you're not covering anything about Joe Biden." So they didn't like to hear that. Another thing is so stupid. Like Amar was saying, they're fact checking my memes. They're mean, for crying out loud.
They're mean.
Really funny. They're not. They're fact checking memes, but it's like they don't even know what to do anymore. How can I censor you? How can I silence your voices? And the whole reason is the same thing that I was talking earlier. These policies, this stupid stuff, is to silence the truth, to suppress the truth, because
Exactly.
they want to control the narrative. They want to put a light out there, and they don't want another voice trying to fight the lie, because then they lose people, they lose credibility, and if they do so, they're not gonna be able to control them anymore. So that's why we're here. That's why we're here. And yeah, definitely, Lexit has gone through so many censorship. It's ridiculous. And I think Jesse right now, he's in Facebook jail, and I'm not sure what in this time, but it might be a meme, because that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right now. So
And that's exactly it. It's just a meme that he got put in Facebook jail.
yeah,
That's ridiculous.
and
I
on
know.
Instagram,
Have y'all been censored on Instagram too?
I've
on
been
Instagram, people have
I've
told
been
me,
Yeah.
send me
Twitter.
messages. Yeah.
On Twitter, I have. On Twitter, we had a year and a half ago. We had like 3,500 followers at one point, and then all of a sudden we went down to 2,100. And right now on Twitter, which we're not on there as much as we used to be, but we're probably at 2,500, where we should probably be at 10,000 because we're shadow banned. So, and that's that's my own personal Instagram, Twitter. But yeah, Instagram does the same thing too. I've gotten some nasty notices. One notice, I went to go see Terrence Williams, who's a friend of mine. He was in Brea at a comedy show, and we mentioned the incident with the Indian and the conservative kid at the Life for March.
Oh,
For Life last year. Nicholas Sandman.
Yeah.
And we said, we said something about they need to make sure that they protect his ass. I think we said something like that, and Instagram took it down. And we were talking about Terrence Williams, and we were excited, but we were talking about the news articles of the day, and we said, yeah, we're going to go ahead and make sure that they protect his ass, and Not even 5 minutes later, we got shut down from Instagram for 3 days for saying that. Which was like, what did we, it was something to that effect, but it was stupid. There's no point. It was pointless.
There's people that say worse things than that.
Absolutely. Kathy Griffith.
They say worse things than that. I know that we, last year we had, our whole Twitter, like a lot of our leadership, all of us lost all of our Twitters. And if it wasn't for Laura Loomer that went and wrote a story about it and people picked it up, and then we had to call the White House as well for assistance. And if it wasn't for that we had avenues and, some resources, I don't think we would have gotten it back. And they didn't give us any reason. We hadn't even posted. I mean, they just took down, if you were Latino, all of our leadership gone. It was like all of a sudden we were locked. I just got some complaint. I'm like, I barely am on Twitter. I'm more on Facebook, and I'm getting complaints. I'm like, I just locked my Twitter down. I'm like, I don't know who's on here, and I can't even trust y'all because I'm like, it's just ridiculous. I'm like, it's just Twitter, or is it somebody that's following me that's just making stupid accusations? Like the left just doesn't want us to speak out. And, the more that we do speak out as Latinos and Hispanics and Mexican Americans and Venezuelans and, people from Chile, Lord forbid that any of us speak out or say that we believe in or like Trump or even support him at all or like his policy, or Lord forbid we say we're pro-life. Oh, what about the babies in the womb? Everybody's worried about kids in the cages, but what about the babies in the womb? I mean, it's like there's a big, huge double standard. I'm like, their logic, their reasoning, it doesn't even like I don't even know. I'm like, how does anybody even not see through that? How can you not see through the lies and the hypocrisy? Like Natalia said, I just don't get it. I'm like, this is like the most insane. I feel like I'm living in the freaking Twilight Zone right now.
Yeah,
literally.
Exactly.
Am I taking crazy pills?
Yeah, exactly. I know. So I know. Listen, we've almost chatted up for almost an hour, ladies, and I just, on behalf of Latinos for Trump, I just want to thank you all for coming, and doing a live with us, and just really, we're all very different. We're not all exactly the same, but yet we all are like-minded in a lot of ways. I think it's important that we continue to do what we're doing. I think it's important that we continue to speak to our communities. I think it's very important that we take a stand and use our voices. Not everybody has a voice. Not everybody wants to be a voice. So I think it's important for those of us that are not fearful, that are little, or maybe their jobs. A lot of our Border Patrol agents, they can't speak out. They tell us privately, they're like, guys, thank you so much for everything y'all do for us, because of our jobs, we can't speak out. We can't say anything, because of the backlash, or because of their, the Hatch Act or whatever it is,
Right.
they just can't, they don't have that capability. So they're consistently telling us, thank you for all you do. Keep talking, keep putting the message out. They're always telling us. And so I think for us at Latinos for Trump, that's what we say. We say, we speak out for those who cannot speak out for themselves. We will stand for you. Even like the police department, we back our blue, and we're like, hey, we can say things that you can't because of your job, and so that we just continue to do what we do. So I just thank y'all for coming on board, and I'll let everybody
for
kind of
having
go
us.
around. Absolutely, Prima. And, I'll just kind of go around and everybody just, close out with your last message. And I'll go from Myra to Patty to Natalia.
I just want to say that support those states, post those rallies that are trying to open their states, spread the message, call the White House, let them know that we need to open our country. Look out for your elections. The people, look out for the conservatives. Just because they have an R doesn't mean they're conservatives. Look into their views and their donors to make sure you're electing the right people. And see you guys.
Excellent. Thanks, Myra.
Well, thanks, Myra. So thank you, Bianca, Prima. And as soon as this is all over with, I'm going to visit you.
I know.
I can't wait. But I think, and just like Myra said, be conscientious of the protests. If you can attend them, attend them. Call your congressmen, call your senators. They're working for us. Call the White House. Let them know it's time to open up our country. If you're talking about, again, for San Diego County, 5 million people and 125 deaths, but you're talking about 22 million people filing for unemployment. I think you have to weigh that out and look at the numbers. And that's not being insensitive. That's looking at the truth. And right now, I think we need to come together as Americans, not as Republicans or Democrats, and really get ready to open up this country, because we're the ones that are hurting for this invisible man that is not going to take us down. Like they said, where USC and UCLA came out with their studies saying that 80% of us already have the antibodies, so we've already had it. So what's the purpose of this entire shutdown right now if that information, and I understand why it happened, because China didn't give us the information, and we've been pulling this information, but we have it now. So Gavin Newsom, if you're watching, I don't like you, but if you're watching right now, open up California, because we need to get our economy going. People are losing their houses. People don't have jobs. And I'm not going to be wearing a mask in the next year. I'm just saying that. So I'll pass it over to my beautiful friend, Natalia.
Hey guys, my last message would be, question everything. Question the narrative. Question the motives. Question the new definition of things. And another thing, you are important. You can make a difference. Your voice matters. You matter, especially if you're a minority, because we need you. We need you to be out there. And so let's be brave. Let's fight back. We're not going to stay here and accept everything. We're going to fight back. We're going to let our voices be heard. So you're important. Just keep that in mind.
Thank you. What a beautiful message from some very beautiful Latina women. So I'm just, again, grateful, thankful that you guys came on and were able to talk to us here at Latinos for Trump. Thank you for supporting us. And, we extend the same to you all, and, support y'all and continue to put the message out there, because your job is important at Lexit, because you're talking about the Latinos exiting that Democrat plantation. We at Latinos for Trump, we're already have exited. Like we ran. We didn't walk away. We ran. So as me and you, Patty, said, it's like hashtag we are woke. We are woke. Definitely woke. We have been woke. So anyway, I just, again, thank y'all for joining us. And I don't know, y'all want to give any shout outs to anybody? Myra, any shout outs?
No, just everybody out there, stay safe, have fun, continue with your normal lives. There's nothing going on.
I want to give a shout out really quick to one thing. Hold on, Mia, come here.
Shout out to
my dog, Mia.
Aww.
My babies are home.
Happy ending.
My babies were stolen 2 months ago, and I got them back last night. And so this is Mia, my 8-year-old. So
yeah, Myra definitely loves her dog, Cody. Oh my gosh, Cody.
We call Cody
Antifa.
They're both stolen.
He's not Antifa.
I know. No, listen, Myra, can you imagine if your Cody had gotten stolen? Her dogs were stolen 2 months ago. And
Yeah,
it was
I lost them for a night, and it's devastating. It's very, very devastating when you lose
Yeah,
them.
so I got them back last night. So God is good, and I shout out to everybody who prayed for me. And Bianca knows, and my time I cried on her shoulder about it. And you know what? But God's so amazing because we kept on moving. And so shout out to the Real Exit crew and everybody, and President Trump.
Yeah.
Got you.
That's
Yes,
right. That's right.
that's right.
I know Latinos for Trump and Real Exit Women. Anyway, woohoo! Y'all stay tuned. I think our Jenlo and Thad Cisneros are going to go live and show what happened at the rallies today. We had 2 of our own that were attacked and were hospitalized today by
Oh my
Antifa.
Lord.
So
Oh my
stay
Lord.
tuned. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, stay tuned to that live
Thanks,
today.
Bianca.
You're welcome. All right,
Love you.
ladies.
All right.
Hey,
All right,
cheers,
guys.
everybody. Cheers.
It
Cheers.
was a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having
Woohoo.
us.
Thank
Cheers.
you. We'll see you
Bye. Love
later,
you guys.
ladies.
Bye.
Peace out.
Bye.
Peace. Bye.
Besos.